All right, okay. So this save has been rewarding in as much as it's been challenging. We've had a bit of another dilemma, shall we say. So we'll jump into the episode and I'll explain exactly what's going on and what's changed. So we finished last season. We won the league with San Marino Academy. We ended up being pretty easy in the end, as you can see there on screen. We're about 7 points clear. Always looking good until we got about halfway through, kind of the end of season, kind of before the start of next season, and I realised we weren't getting any notifications through for European matches. When I checked it, yeah, this team don't qualify for Europe, which kind of puts a spanner in the works of what we were trying to do.
God damn it!
Because if we're doing like build a nation save as part of this, we need to be getting the European money, European stature, all that kind of good stuff in order to increase the facilities, etc., etc. So what that's resulted to me doing is I actually retired the manager. I wasn't going to cancel the save because we're 2 seasons in, about to start season 3, really enjoying it. We've got a wee bit of extended time before FM25 comes out, so I'm kind of wanting to try and get through as much of this as possible. So we decided that when we checked Sanji, well, there was a couple of teams that had sacked their manager at the end of the month, end of the year, sorry. So I was thinking, do I keep the same manager and apply for the jobs, or do I hold off and then when the or just start a new manager effectively, just start a new manager and take over a new team. So we decided to relegate Massimo Bonini. Kind of as a good way for him to finish the season or his career, if you look at it. Takes San Marino Academy, wins the league, had them kind of half set up for the next seasons. So they were in a good spot when we left them. We had to look at the teams that were managerless. One of them was in Europe, but they hadn't won anything. So that team is San Giovanni. They've won one cup in the Division 2, which I think was a thing a long time ago in San Marino. So yeah, they've won absolutely nothing. They'd actually qualified for Europe, but for some reason the manager had left. So I had a look at the icons. One of the icons was in the game as assistant manager for another team in San Marino. So we recreated that manager profile, and then I just hired him as the assistant manager, basically. So Massimiliano Venturi.
Terrible.
Venturi? I've just butchered that again. Massimiliano Venturi is the new manager of San Giovanni. We didn't play the European game purely because we didn't earn the right to play it because we didn't get to that stage. Plus, when I realised and took over, it was like 3-4 days before the European game. Basically had to use their squad that they had from the season before. So we didn't really have our players on it anyway. So I simmed those matches. They actually won the first one 2-0, and then you beaten the away leg 4-0. So that's fine. Got a bit of money from that though, which I knew they would get, which is part of the reason why we picked them. One, because they've not won anything. So it was a good club with no history, so to speak. And another reason is that I knew they would have a bit of money coming in from the European games. So that's good. We then just set about, obviously, hiring new staff, signing a new team. It was a good transfer window for that team, to be honest, because we did manage to get in a lot of players, as you can see there. I won't go through them all because we'll be here all day. We started signing players around here on the 11th of July. Probably just pick out the key ones. We signed David Fabry because we now don't have the under 23 players rule anymore, and he's a good goalkeeper. Plus, you need to play one San Marino player in your starting 11 every game in the home in the domestic leagues. So he's perfect for that goalkeeper. He's a good goalie for this level. We did sign also Michel Chivoli. Where is he? Yeah, Michel Chivoli. He's a couple of caps for the national team. He's been playing in the national team. He's not the best, but he's decent. And for this level, he is actually a good defender. So just gives us a couple of good. We'll try and sign a few San Marino players if they're kind of good enough for the level and we can play them. I'll pick out on a couple of good ones that we signed. Christian Arcucci, he's a good inside forward on the left-hand side. Pretty decent on the finishing. Long shots aren't great. Player, pace. He's got pacey player as well. Not Candido. Candido's a couple of defenders. Candido, Kareem El-Deeb was a good right back. For this level, he's a wing back. Great crossing, really, for this level. Very determined player, which is ideal. We also brought in Diego Scambioluri. Again, another solid midfielder. Play his deep line play, probably as a playmaker or a central midfielder, box to box, something like that. We did kind of think we would go and try and play with a 5-3-2 or something along those lines, just to change up. I don't want to be playing 4-3-3 all the time, or 4-2-3-1. So we're going to try and move this to a 5-3-2 when I can sign the players. It's all based on being able to sign the players, like wing backs that be good crossing, that kind of stuff as well. We did sign a really good striker, I'll show you as well. Daniele Orlando, he's previously of Feral Pisalo and Atalanta, so he actually played some games for the under-23s at Atalanta, but he is an absolute demon. He's not great in the air, but I mean, composure, finishing, pace for this level, off the ball movement, technique. For a poacher, it is ideal. His decisions aren't great, which might mean his shot selection's not the best, but his composure, he will score so many goals in this league.
Pretty much just a bag man for him.
Which is perfect. Trying to think if there's anybody else. Manuel Leone is a decent right winger. Yeah, he's right footed. So we play him in the right wing. Again, decent crossing, good finishing, so we can play him in that attacking mentality. We could also invert him on the inside forward at the other side if we wanted to as well. Gives us that option. Yeah, as you can see, quite a lot of players. We did get rid of some players, loaned out a couple of the players who were already here, who probably aren't good enough to fit into our squad. So that's left them with basically season preview as odds-on favourites to win the league. San Marino Academy, because we did do some transfer business for them before I realised, so we've not left them in a bad position. We left them in quite a good spot. But yeah, we've got, look as if we've got the strongest team this season in order to try and win the league again. So I think this is the kind of formation we'll try and go for, because we've got to think that playing the formations we're playing in the domestic leagues will mostly win the games as soon as your team becomes a better team. But you need to have a defensive setup and probably a more attacking setup for the domestic league games and some of the European qualifiers when you get your team to a certain level. So we'll probably go with this kind of idea and move the DM kind of as an attack midfielder when we're going with the more attacking option. Try and move to having the two strikers. We don't quite yet have the players for that. Just, I don't know, it's been hard because we kind of got them mid-summer, kind of like we just need to sign players that we just need to get a squad in and then take it from there. I wouldn't really want to take Scambioluri, a player like him. He's excellent, and I don't really want to play him at a position if I don't have to. So could potentially, I don't know, we'll have a wee think about it. I do like the idea of playing five at the back in Italy or San Marino, but you know what I mean. And that kind of, because that is a kind of, by and large, like it's seen as an Italian formation as such. So it's more to do with, like, we don't really have wing backs, and I've got one good wing back in Karim El-Deeb. Where is he again? So yeah, he's good. He's like a really excellent wing back. He can get up and down that line, whip the balls in. He's fast. He's so good for that kind of stuff. For this level, he's an excellent player actually. Probably we've got him on a 2-year deal, so probably look to kind of keep him as long as possible, unless we move on past. So that's pretty much where we are. Got some decent money in the coffers. If we win the league, we'll then definitely qualify for Europe. We'll be playing cup games this season as well, which is another thing that San Marino Academy didn't get. So as much as I love the idea of obviously sticking to a team with under 23 players and stuff, with no Europe, it's really pointless, because what it would take is, it would take long enough with this kind of setup and getting into Europe and stuff like that to build the rest of the nation and build the good young players and stuff. It'd take us double that if we didn't have, probably even longer, if we didn't have that option. So that's where we are with that. Slight change up, but we're keeping the same game. I'm going to switch over Victor San Marino, and we'll have a wee look at the transfer business for them. So this has probably honestly been one of the most challenging transfer windows I've had doing these kind of saves, and I've played this probably every year for the last 3-4 years. We've just struggled to find players who improve the squad but also don't want a fortune in wages. So we did get a little bump in the transfer budget and the wage budget as well. But the problem is I wanted to try and beef the whole squad up, as we had the problems with injury and fitness and stuff like that last season. So I kind of wanted to beef the whole squad up and give more rotation options. Wasn't entirely possible. We did bring in a goalkeeper, Filippo Ronaldo. He's actually, the game's not rating him very well, but he's actually better than Passeri, who we had in goal last season, well, for most of last season towards the end of it. He's overall a better goalkeeper, so we're going to just persevere with him. Hopefully he gets a bit better and just improves to that level. He's only 23, so he is a young guy. Came through the youth ranks at Parma, played some games in the Serie C already last season. It wasn't a terrible season, I suppose. He did concede a lot of goals, but that could be down to the defence as well. Ivo Kaczmarski.
Not bad.
Probably ruined that. Again, another player who came in from Poland, actually. He spent a couple of years in Italy. He actually went for a wee bit of money to Empoli, but we brought him in as a defensive midfield option because we kind of needed. He's a solid player, good for this level. He's one of the deals I've been happier with. He's seen as a decent player, but £700 a week, so it's not the worst. But adds to the squad. We signed Vincenzo Polito. We needed right backs. We don't have any good right backs. He's not the best, but he'll do. Effectively, we took him. It's low wages. Thought it's only a year's contract. He'll do for a year. And if he's decent, then we can keep him on for longer if we need to. Alessandro La Rosa, we had him on loan last season. Brought him in. He played all right last season. A couple of games, and then he got injured, I think, towards the end of the season. So we've brought him in, just again, another squad option. We do have a transfer bid in for Claudio Parlato from last season. He actually was really good for us last season, finished in a 7.7 in 35 games. So ideally we get him in. The same rule goes with Luca Di Modugno.
Wow.
A left back, not great, probably in the same level as Polito, to be honest. We just needed extra depth in that left hand side. Giacomo Marconi is a lone striker from Parma. We probably lied about his playing time to Parma so they would give us him. He will play a lot of games rotating, but he's not quite as good as Amadori. We just needed a suitable player to bring in to give Amadori some games off when it gets really tightly congested with the fixture schedule. Matteo Bacchini is a good defender, consistent, likes big matches, good player for the level, so we're happy with that. He's 31, his legs haven't gone, so we'll get a good season or two out of him. Didn't want a lot of wages, £450. So yeah, that adds something to the defence at least anyway. And then look at Scarfiello. We got him on loan from Ajaccio in France. Again, just needed a left-sided player to try and just give us extra squad numbers. We did renew the contract of Rosafio. I wasn't going to, but we just needed. At that point, I was kind of panicking, thinking, right, we've not got long left in the transfer window. Like 1 day left, and I thought, we're not finding any free transfers. I'm just going to have to make sure that we've got numbers, because when we get those months where we're playing 1, 2, 3, 8 games in a month, 5 games the following month, 6 games the month before, at the start of the season, and then a couple towards the end of the season, we've got some sticky months with the games. They're quite close together, so yeah, pretty much that's the business we've done so far. We have tried to do a little bit of business out with that. We've got some offers in for trials, some just basically trials. We've got another lone striker just from Empoli this time. Yeah, from Empoli this time. I don't even know if he's any good. He's not had any game time. He played games in the Serie A last season, so he didn't play well, but Serie A experience, we'll take that. Obviously Claudio Parlato as well. There is one goalkeeper I'm actually dying for us to sign. Where is he? Giuseppe Agostino. So he kind of flip-flaps between being unhappy at Casena and wanting to leave, and then been happy to stay. It's weird. They wouldn't let us loan him because they don't have enough goalkeepers in their squad, and that's not changed anyway. So it looks like he'll actually be their first choice goalkeeper this season. So we might have missed the boat on him. He just would have been a good goalkeeper to bring in for this level. He's better than what we had. But feeling that's pretty much where we're going to be. I've got a couple of trialists in, but I've not been finding anybody that's good. My scouts have been doing absolutely nothing and finding me 0 free transfers. Like, they're usually quite good at finding free transfers, but they're finding nothing. So we're pretty much going to have to go with what we had. Mostly what we had with a couple of extra bodies in just to kind of beef the squad up a wee bit. I suppose we might pick up some free transfers when Lorenzo Sorrento's another one. We've got a transfer bid in for, again, another striker just to kind of give us an extra option. We probably need, if we're playing a one striker formation, we need 3 at least, just with the games getting thick and fast, we get an injury, you know what it's like. So yeah, that's where we are. Got a couple of offers in. We might do some business before the end of the window. I won't hold my breath. Palat will probably come in, but that's mostly it for the start of the season anyway. We are predicted to finish 12th. I think we were about that last season as well. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I would take playoffs again. I think we did well to finish 3rd anyway. That was a kind of freak first season. We'll have this season to go. I think if we get playoffs again, we can be happy. I'm just trying to kind of slowly build the team up. And we didn't really even find a lot of players that we could sign in free transfer at the end of the contract at the end of last season. It was quite a struggle. But we move on. First game of the season, then we'll bring you today the first 2 games of the season. We've got Ascoli at home, and we've got Juventus Next Gen at home, which is a bit of a bogey team. We did beat them late last season, and we've got Ascoli away on the Wednesday night. So we'll play those 2 games in this episode, and then I can recap any extra transfers we do in the next one. First game of the season then, this is how we line up. Not a million miles away from where we finished last season. We've got Ronaldo in goals now. We're going to just persevere with him, even if he's not having a great time. He's not inconsistent, he's not consistent, so he doesn't really like big games. That's the only thing that's a bit of a nightmare, but I'm not sure if we can train that out of him. We've got Macchioni. He actually won Defender of the Year last year, so we kept him in. Perotta, Machini, La Rosa, Kazmarski, Zonta, because Gianmichael is injured, suspended. We've got Fusi, Desages, Cantisani, and Amadori starting in the first game. So I'm really getting no clue how this season's going to go. It feels like the squad's a bit weaker this season. Stimulate that. It's a friendly. Feels like the squad is weaker this season, so I won't hold my breath on a brilliant season. If we get playoffs, then excellent. We did lose a lot of players because other teams came in for them. Yeah, we had a few. We've only got a reputation of 1.5 star, and there's other teams in the league who've got two stars, and literally we're losing players to them. So it was a bit of a struggle to bring in great players. We'll need to kind of hope that there's some free transfer players go who don't get picked up by a club, and then they're still looking for a club and they start kind of lowering their expectations as such. Nearly an early goal. So that's what we're hoping for this season anyway. As we can just kind of add, we've got some of the budget left over, so we can just kind of add to it as we go. Just kind of try and beef the squad up as we go, as we move through the season, try and finish stronger than we did. I suppose if we don't get beat in this game, then it's not a bad start to the season. It's really hard with this kind of division because a lot of the teams do a lot of transfer business, so you don't know how weak or strong they are. We've probably not done as much as I would like to have done. I'd like to have brought in a better striker. I mean, Amadori's come up saying he wants to consider his options at the end of the season, so we're probably going to lose him unless no one offers him a contract and we can get him to sign one. Cantisani's chipped in. Again. But it's another thing as well, is Amadori does this sometimes and he's not terribly consistent. Although I think he's supposed to be consistent, but he just isn't. Right. Very motivated, yeah. I reckon he's meant to be consistent, but he's just not. Jesse just is having a bad game, so let's just take him off and we'll put Lucas Scarfiello on. What? Yeah, I mean, I suppose if we draw the first game of the season, I can always take him off and put Marconi on. But it's a tough one. It's just trying to not. We won't get destroyed. I don't think we'll get destroyed. Let's not concede in their first chance. It's been a highlight. I don't think we'd get destroyed. I think the squad's decent to the point where there is worse teams in the league. I think you, with the first season up, you're always going to have a season where your team just it's a really surprise package season. Nobody rates you. Everybody plays right. Amadore's playing a 6 point get off. Yeah, nobody rates you. Everybody's thinking like they don't know how to play against you and stuff like that. So you have a good season that way, and then the second season you're usually found out unless you can really strengthen the squad, which we've not really been able to do. But I will absolutely take a clean sheet and a point in this first game of the season because this team beat us 2 out of 3 games last season, and I think 1 or 2 of the defeats were quite handy. So it's not bad. We've arguably been the better team if we don't concede a late one here. That's not too bad, right? Amadore had a poor game, so let the side down. That's not too bad. We'll move on to the Ascoli game now and see if we can finish at least 4 points this start of this episode. Right, here we are then for the Ascoli game. We did bring 2 players in just in the short time between. We got Claudio Parlato back in, right back. He's definitely an improvement in the other guys we had there. Had a good season last season. Quite happy to keep him 40 quid a week. Cannot complain there with that. He had a good season for his last season, so he goes straight into the team. And we got Lucas Rizzolo in, a really good player for this level anyway. Played in the Serie B last for Modena. A couple of goals. That was 2 seasons ago. He's still good. He still gives us that third option up front, which we wanted. He's not the fastest player anymore, but I mean, he is a demon in the air. He's got head and 15, strength 10. It's not too great, but jumping reaches 15. He's got good finishing as well, good work rate, off the ball stuff. So his movement and stuff's really good as well. His position's no brilliant, but again, it's just we were kind of desperate for a player at the end of that kind of transfer window there. Came in a free transfer. The other players we tried to get in didn't come in. So I want to see a performance for Amadore in this game, or else we'll be seeing him subbed off. He is the number 1 striker, so we've gone with him again up front, even though he had a terrible first game of the season. It's probably still take time for the team to gel a wee bit, but Ascoli lost the first game of the season, so we're kind of hoping to get 3 points here, and we can start with 4 points out of 6, which wouldn't be the worst. Amadore's right in. Oh my God, man, what is wrong with you, mate? Early in the game, but that is just chances that he shouldn't be missing. We don't, I mean, he's wanting to leave out under freedom of contract, right? Or he's thinking about it. And I was kind of at the beginning like, oh, I really don't want to lose him. He's an excellent player. But then you're just watching, he had a good season, but that's just so often that he's just got those chances and he does nothing with them. The defence is largely what it was last season, so we've not really managed to improve the defence. The goalkeeper's probably better. Dory again, unlucky. We've looked a better team. We've created a few chances. We just need to try and actually convert one of them to a goal here. Not started terribly. Here we go. We concede for this corner.
Oh my God.
Sake.
Oh, hell no,
Right.
man. What the fuck?
Could be a long season. This is just poor defending. Like, we're just not clearing that ball properly. And Chamical Gela is just not picking his man up. He's not closing his man down quick enough. We've had 1 shot on target and scored it. Might actually be be in for a long season. Come on, boys, what is happening here? Hughes having an absolute shocker. Definitely getting a rocket at half time. That's pathetic. Where is my press? We got high press and they're just giving them all this space in the ball. Look at that. Where's my right back? Why is he so narrow? Goalie. Goalie's got to claim that as well. I don't know why the goalkeeper's not claiming that. They're going to score here again. No way. I thought that was going to be a penalty there. Hey, Amadori, we need something for you here, son. Go on. We're losing this game. Hitting the bar already and missing chances. We're losing this game. What's going on with these two? Rocket. Not happy with this. And Fusey can come off. Shocker. He's getting 10 minutes. He's getting 10 minutes. Both of them are getting 10 minutes or they're off. Come on, boys. What is going on here? We've got counter press on here. It's just put the pressing intensity up because this is absolutely grim. We're supposedly the better team and they've had all the highlights since the first 5 minutes of the game. Shooting. Why are you shooting for there? I got a 6.3, get off. Let's try him in a ball playing defence. He has got good passing. Let's see if he can do something with it. I don't think they're a particularly strong team in this league. Great ball. What's he doing? What is that? That is pathetic. Come on, lads. What is going on here? We've been the better team and we've been undone by a poor goal that we've conceded. Baldy's don't know what he's doing here.
2 seconds later.
Oh, he's getting an assist. That's what he's doing. He's getting an assist. Right, come on. Get back into this game. Take that. I was about to sub him off, actually. I was thinking about bringing Cantisani on, but done well to cut that ball back. Amadori's finally done something. I mean, he's shot through 3 players and the goalkeeper there, so that's pretty good. Come on, boys. Let's try and get a win here. We are the better team here. Come on. Let's try and make them force on a mistake here up their own half now. In. Take that ball. That's yours. Oh, what are you doing? Thought he was going to lose that there. But good recovery from Baldy. Right, Kazmierski. Uzi. Oh, he's out space. He's got space. Great ball. Baldy. 2 assists. Amadori scores. 2 assists. Right. Get the press down a notch. Maybe swap back to pot to balanced. Don't really want to concede here. All players. Away! We're not winning the second balls at all. Great save. We're not winning second balls at all in that box. That is pathetic. Probably need to sub these 2 off. And Parlato. Yeah, let's do it. We need to start being. I think last season I wasn't good enough at making changes and keeping players fresh, so we're just going to have to do that. Not Polito. Lamine Fofana. I actually want you playing defensive. Just really try. Really try and. Really want to try and strangle the rest of this game. See at the last 20 minutes, get the 3 points. I think we take Amadori off. Tired. Let's get a striker on. Play him as a target. I don't really use target forwards that much this season. Actually, let's change that delivery to see how good he is in the air. 10 minutes to see out, boys. Let's try and get 3 points here. Deserved this anyway. 8 minutes. I thought I said 8 minutes added on there. I was like, you're kidding me on. Oh, I've stole that. Yes. Yes, wide. Don't shoot. Shoot. What are you shooting for there? Yes, boys, we'll take that 2-1 win. From a goal down at half time to 2-1. Well, the better team deserved that, though. So, praise for that, because praise for that. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Right, okay, so we got 4 points out of 6. That's not too bad. Leaves us 6th in the table. We will look at Amadori with 2 goals after having a stinker as well the first game. Right, let's come back around about. I think we're usually coming back around about. In that we usually come back around about January time, right? But if we do, we're missing a massive chunk of this season because we seem to be front loaded all these games this year. I don't know if it's something to do with when the World Cup is, but the season finishes at the end of April. So let's maybe come back end of October then. Then we can do end of January. Yeah, end of October, end of January, end of season. Because I don't really want to either that. I wouldn't. Will we cut it into 3 actually? Let's cut it into 3. Let's do middle October. So we'll maybe come back and do grudge match against Cesena. Gubbio and Cesena, and then come back January time. Yeah, and then end of the season for the end of the season. So we'll do that. Not too bad. 6th in the league after 2 games. Ascoli, I think, let's see where they were expected to finish. They were expected to finish 3rd, so that was actually a really good result. I didn't think they were that good, but we'll keep looking for free transfer players, see if we can bring anybody in. We haven't missed anything for the national team, to be honest. They are up to 209th in the league in the world rankings, but they were already anyway. But yeah, the games have been largely how you would expect them to go. Since we beat Gibraltar on a friendly 1-0, Liechtenstein 2-0. That's about it. Moldova, we drew 1-1 with Moldova. I mean, the Nations Leagues were decent games, but otherwise, yeah, this year's a tough year for them. So we might have to stick in a few friendlies to try and get some wins under the belt anyway. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Just to kind of timestamp this, we had the announcement for the FM25 or Football Manager 2000. I think Football Manager 225 it's called. They're not going with the Football Manager 25. Yeah, they're not going with the FM this year by the looks of it. Anyway, you can let me know what you think in the comments. Personally, I think they probably could have done well to announce a bit more about the game. Just with the kind of features that they took out of it, I think, this year. Obviously, international management, that kind of thing. But I'll buy it anyway. I'll buy it and we'll be here launch day. With a beta save, if we get a beta. If not, then it'll just be a full stream a full YouTube save from the off. I've already got a team in mind. I did have a beta team in mind, thinking we would have a beta to go first, but it may be looking like we might not get a beta this time. But yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing what gets revealed in the next couple of weeks. But thanks for tuning in, folks. I really appreciate it. We hit 50 subscribers, which is good. It's ticking along nicely. I'm quite happy with that. So it's always appreciated. Them that views, watches, likes, subscribes. Totally appreciate it, guys. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.